When I was 21 years old, I was driving in my car in Santa Monica, and I had what you call a full Kundalini awakening. But there's apparently this energy that sits at the base of the spine, and that started to rise as I was driving. As it did that, it started to open up every single one of my chakra systems along the way. And when that energy hit my brain, energetically and consciously, I sort of exploded into everything. At that point, I literally could no longer tell the difference between myself or anybody else, myself and the wall, someone's thought forms and the heartbeat. I was literally merged energetically with everything. In that moment, for whatever reason, what came to me was this. I literally was like, oh my God, I'm God. And so is everybody else. They just don't know it. Such a vast awakening. I remember walking into the grocery store and I could pick up an apple and I could trace that apple back to, all the way back in time to the farmer who planted the seed. And I literally could see, just by holding that apple, the way that the tree grew, to the way that the rain fell, to the sun that was shining on the tree, to how that apple got into my hand. And what I began to realize is that there was this intelligence that was on everything. Went and spent the next 15 years studying with as many shamans and yogis and as many fully enlightened beings as I possibly could, just to try and understand what had happened. Part of that journey was I ended up meeting shamans out of Veracruz, Mexico, who trained me in something called sacred geometry. If you've ever done ayahuasca, which is a very, very intense, they call it medicine, but it's a very, very intense experience. And you get opened up to seeing the universe. What you see is that there's this sacred geometry everywhere. Like, it's coming out of people's eyes. They have a thought form, shapes and geometries are emanating out of them. It's, coming off of the trees, out of the wind, like it's literally everywhere. And so, part of what we do in those classes is we teach people how to consciously work with sacred geometry, for one, but also two, to start to heal unconsciousness and pain and trauma and things that might have gotten rooted in the psyche from a really early age.